Good morning. I've got an early start this morning, and well, I wouldn't say early, it's 8 o'clock that I just started walking, but I woke up at 6. It was a wonderful family, mom, dad, and 4 kids that arrived at the shelter, but they didn't look like they were keen on being photographed or anything, so I just kept my camera away. And then an hour later, sopping wet because it started pouring, was a 17-year-old boy named Isaac. This is real. Thorns, ow. And he showed up, and so, oh my gosh, he was so loud. All of us are sleep deprived. He had a sleeping bag that had a bug net attached to it, but the sleeping pad was attached, no, the sleeping pad with the bug net, and then the sleeping bag, I don't know, but it was as loud as anything, and he kept tossing and turning and trying to get comfortable, and so nobody really slept last night, so we're all a little sleep deprived. But the family is heading to the same destination, which is a shelter 13 miles away, and I am feeling optimistic about making that today. There's supposed to be thunderstorms on and off. Right now it's not raining, so hitting the trail and hoping to get to a wayside for lunchtime to get a lunch, and so that will be my goal. In any case, good morning. All was well. I stayed dry. I'm so frustrated with myself. I made a mistake. I would say it's a rookie mistake, but I've been out here long enough to know better. But I just wasted the first mile of the day. When I left the shelter, there was a fire road that merged in with the actual path that off the AT, the blue blaze that would lead to the shelter, and apparently at some point, maybe 100 yards up, it split, but I missed the split and stayed on the fire road and continued down to meet the AT, but a mile south of where I got off. So I just did a mile that I already did yesterday. Might not seem like a lot, but it was all uphill. And I'm already looking at 13 miles, so now I'm looking at 14 miles. And the bugs are absolutely insane. I have a goofy hat with a bug net on it that I haven't worn yet, but I've been carrying it. But I think I might just put it on, because this is insane. I'm eating them. I had to just take a little break here in the middle of the trail. I got the trail that way and that way. I just dumped water on my head. It was so hot. Once my hair dries, I did take my little funny little hat out of my backpack, and I'll put it on, keep the bugs away. But this is what I'm seeing around me. It's a peaceful morning, but it's very humid and really buggy, as it rained last night, most of the night. I think I heard it until maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4 o'clock. So it was pretty wet when we woke up, which brings all the mosquitoes and gnats and so forth. A big branch crashed out of a tree and landed on the bear box. It made a huge crashing sound. It woke us all up. That plus the young man that slept in his sleeping pad next to me, like I said, was quite noisy all night. I'm exhausted. And then I just did a mile I don't need, of all days. That's okay. There's a wayside in about 7 miles, 7.5 miles, to get a nice lunch there. I don't know, just taking a pause. I can smell all these pine needles. Smells delicious. I wish I had a seat though. I want to sit. I didn't see a log in the last half mile I was looking just to sit on. Boy, do I feel silly. Good thing nobody's around. But if it helps keep the bugs out of my eyes and my mouth, then it's worth it. I feel like I'm on an African safari. Oh, the good news. My feet don't hurt. I've taken care of the blisters that are on the bottom, that were on the bottom. Just a tiny remnant left, but it doesn't hurt. And the one on my toe, I have my Injinji socks. I had mailed my original pair back home a few weeks ago, foolishly, with the hot weather, and I didn't want to be wearing 2 pairs of socks, and I wasn't getting blisters anyway. But now maybe I know why I wasn't getting blisters, because I was wearing the sock liners. So I bought another pair for like $8 and had them delivered to me in Luray. So that helps. Plus, I got new shoes, new sneakers. They're Merrells, and they're a little wider at the toe box, which I like. But the biggest thing was that the sole is thicker. What really bothers me is the rocks, especially going downhill. I could feel every sharp edge through the soles of my other sneakers. So sent those home because they're fine for walking around and short hikes or whatever, but certainly not for the Appalachian Trail and the number of miles that I'm looking to do every day. So my new shoes seem to be working. The only sore spot is on the top of my foot because I had, for the first time, acupuncture, and so she could promote the healing of that bone and try to prevent a flare-up. And I'm guessing that that just made the top of my foot a little tender, because I've never struggled with that before. Or it could simply be the way these new shoes are fitting. I've been messing around with the lacing, so hopefully I can resolve that. Okay, I'm going up, so talk to you later. As I take just a little break, took off my pack just to rest my shoulders. There's a little spring just about 30 yards back, so I topped off my water and decided to just plunk my pack down. Just take a breather. It's hot and buggy. Hope you're having a good day. I'd love to say that I dumped water on my head again, but it's all sweat. It is so hot. I'm about 2 miles from the wayside, where I'm gonna sit and rest for at least an hour before continuing on. I took the bug net off because it was just trapping heat, but taking it off and the bugs are like making beelines right to my eyeball. They literally smack me in the eyeball and die inside my eye. This is not a fun part of the hike. Part I could do without. A bear! Nice. Ah! Good morning. I'm at a campground actually today at Matthews Arm, I think it's called. Today I'll be hitting Front Royal, so leaving the Shenandoahs and leaving the park and beginning the leg between Front Royal and Harper's Ferry. Which includes the roller coaster, which is kind of intimidating. It's, I think, about 45 miles-ish, something like that, between Front Royal and Harper's Ferry. The first third is kind of flat. The second third, the middle, it's called the roller coaster, where there's straight ups and downs. It's not high elevation, maybe 400 feet or something like that. But it's straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, with no flats or, you know, gradual incline or descent. And I heard it's very rocky, so I'm really concerned about that. Yesterday, I stepped on a rock in such a way that just before the wayside, it was a downhill, and I stepped on a rock, not wrong or anything, but it just touched my foot in the way that just that familiar pain resumed, and it's really, really discouraged me. I limped into the wayside, very uncomfortable, and propped my foot up on the bench and had lunch, and talked to some other hikers, and came just a couple miles up to Matthew's Arm Campground, which is just right off the trail. So I pitched my tent. I wanted to get to Gravel Hut, but I think that's maybe 3 miles away or something like that. So I'll pass there today and hopefully get out of the national park and into Front Royal and rest, and then continue on to Harper's Ferry. But anyway, yeah, so I'm having coffee. That Casey's a young man who has the campsite right across from me, and he made coffee in a coffee maker in the bathroom, in the men's room this morning. So there's the coffee maker, and my and I'm dipping my peanut butter crackers into Jif peanut butter, just for the extra protein, and drinking my coffee out of my cook pot. I'm a high-class act. But anyway, yeah, so we'll see how today goes, and I will keep you updated. Downtown Front Royal. It's a cute little town. I'm staying at Mountain House Cabins with a former thru hiker and his wife. It's beautiful. I'll see if I can get some pictures, but he dropped me and another couple off downtown so we could get a bite to eat, and he said there's an ice cream place, so I'm gonna find the ice cream and get a cone and enjoy it and then head back to the cabin. There's internet, which I haven't had through the Shenandoahs very much, and look forward to touching base with my family and friends and so forth, and maybe even upload a few videos. Can you imagine? All right, catch you in a while. The visitor center, where I'm gonna head next, but I have priorities. I'll pass on the candy store, but ice cream? Yes, please. Pickle flavor. Ugh. Not a fan. Welcome to Front Royal, Virginia. We've got the Trumps and the Never Trumps. I'm wondering if anyone on either side of the street here would actually agree to sit down at a table and talk things out civilly, or do they just choose to stand on opposite curbstones and yell at each other? It's not solving anything. I'll leave politics out of my Appalachian Trail vlog, but this is where I'm at today. Hi, how are you? Uh-oh, here we go. That was awkward. I had a fairly lengthy conversation with the guy who came over. As you could see, he was a Trump supporter. And I am not verbalizing on this vlog my position either way. I had to make my departure to get to the outfitter, which I need to get to. They close at 6 o'clock. My sleeping pad sprung its second leak and I can't find it. I've submerged it in the bathtub and in the creek, and I have to wake up 4 times a night to blow up my air mattress. So I'm heading over there, but I'm going to head back, and since I've had a conversation with a Trump supporter, I'm going to have a conversation with somebody across the street from the opposing side, the never Trump. Maybe I'll just have another drink, because I just came from the beer museum and I had a cider, a blackberry cider. It's blackberry season and there's tons of blackberries in this area and on the trail. Well, it's turning into an interesting night, but I do need to head back to the shuttle, head back to the hostel, maybe have some nutritious dinner, get to bed, because I hit the trail back in the morning, heading to Harper's Ferry. This is actually a cute little town.